The Millennium Falcon is one of the most influential ship designs in all of science fiction, and it has spawned countless lookalikes and knockoffs throughout Star Wars. The subject of today's video is without a doubt one of the most famous and successful of these. I'm Joey from Radio Free Coruscant, and this is everything there is to know about the Ebon Hawk. Design. The Core Galaxy System's Dynamic-class freighter was a small, highly adaptable light freighter, a spiritual predecessor to the Corellian YT and YV series light freighters that would grace the galaxy many centuries later. It featured a half-circle-shaped main hull with a rectangular cockpit in an asymmetrical trio of prongs at the front, and two round engines at the rear. Internally, the ship sacrificed some of its potential cargo space for more comfortable crew and passenger quarters, an unusual move at the time that would come to be standard practice on most light freighters in the distant future. The ship had two cargo holds and an engine room at the rear, with a main passenger area and a small medbay in the center. The two outboard prongs held its living quarters, and the central prong had its cockpit at the front and a small communications office in the middle. There was also a boarding vestibule in between the left and center prongs. No information exists about the designers of the Dynamic class in-universe, their names seemingly lost to the sands of time. I was not able to find who designed it in real life either, but it was likely either Knights of the Old Republic art director Derek Watts, or one of the several 3D or 2D artists who worked on the game. It was created to evoke the look and feel of the Millennium Falcon, though I do feel like giving the Ebon Hawk such a similar name to the Falcon was perhaps a little too on the nose. Specifications. The Dynamic-class light freighter measured 27.2 meters long by 25.9 meters wide and about 5.6 meters tall. It had a top speed of 800 kilometers per hour and a Class 3 hyperdrive. It was armed with two dual laser cannon turrets and required two crew, a pilot and a gunner. The ship could also carry 6 passengers, 60 tons of cargo, and 2 months of consumables. It was fairly affordable at a cost of 80,000 credits new or 30,000 used. However, the most famous Dynamic class by far, the Ebon Hawk, was highly modified from these stats. It was upgraded to have a Class 1 hyperdrive and a top speed of 1100 km per hour. The dual laser turrets were replaced by two dual heavy quad laser cannons, and the ship's owners also installed two dual turbo laser turrets, a concealed anti-personnel repeating blaster, and a proton torpedo launcher. It required 3 additional gunners and a co-pilot, though like the base model, it could still be flown by just one if necessary. The Ebon Hawk could carry 8 passengers instead of just 6, but only 40 tons of cargo thanks to its additional weaponry, crew, and passengers. All these modifications gave it an estimated value of 154,000 credits. History. Sometime around 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, the company Core Galaxy Systems acquired an unknown starship manufacturer on the planet Transil that produced the Dynamic-class light freighter. They only had the manufacturing capacity to build one ship at a time, and so they allowed customers to customize theirs to their exact preference. This manufacturing flexibility led to the ship class's name, Dynamic. In 3956 BBY, a Dynamic class named the Ebon Hawk was involved in the Jedi Civil War. It was owned by crime lord Davik Kang, but stolen by the Sith Lord Revan to escape the bombardment of Taris. He continued to use the ship throughout the conflict in his campaign to find the Star Forge, and later to explore the unknown regions until he was captured. It later returned to known space in 3951 BBY during the Dark Wars, where it was badly damaged. After being repaired, it was taken by Jedi Mitra Surik, who used it to track down several Jedi Masters in hiding after the First Jedi Purge. Eventually, she also took it back to the unknown regions to search for Revan, but was killed during the hunt, leaving the ship stranded on Dromund Kaas with no owner and lost to the sands of time. It may have been found and taken by another Sith, It may have been destroyed at some point in the thousands of years since then, or it may yet be out there waiting for some intrepid adventurer to track it down and claim it as their own. Nothing else is known of the history of the Dynamic class in general, but a few centuries later, in the mid-3600s BBY, the Corellian Engineering Corporation took inspiration from it when designing their own XS stock light freighter. This ship proved to be so popular that it would influence CEC products for thousands of years, including eventually their legendary YT series freighters. And that's everything there is to know about the Ebon Hawk and the Dynamic class in general. Please let me know what you think of this ship, and what other ships you'd like to see covered in the future, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. RFC, out.